Hey guys, looks like we're going to do it the old fashioned way. Two co hosts, maximum effort.
I'm Eric DiGirolamo.
And I'm John Camo. And this is the Monday edition of Canton Chronicle Live. Hey, Eric, how was your Christmas? Was it good?
Oh, my Christmas was fantastic. Just had a week's
You,
vacation. It was awesome.
yeah, and you didn't get sick on the plane and nothing?
Didn't get
No?
sick on the plane. I was around a lot of people that got sick, but I haven't been sick yet. It's that
Just
good
half of
living.
New York.
It's that good living.
Half of New York is sick. They all get the flu. This is the year for the flu. Hello, all our cronks out there. I hope you guys all had a great Christmas, and now we're on to a safe New Year. So, um, I guess tonight's show is all about tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we're gonna be we're gonna be watching a decision that maybe it's unanimous, could be inevitable, but it still raises some questions. Uh, Tomorrow they're going to be interviewing possibly the last two candidates for the police chief. They had a nationwide search, two finalists, one candidate left standing. And the real question isn't who becomes the chief. I mean, we all have our ideas who it is, but we'll see. But it's how the town got there. And I want to say, hypothetically, if in the end it's Charlie Ray, which it could be the way the meter's pointing right now. We'll just say he didn't lose a competition. He made it to the final two, and it's amazing that nothing possibly could change because Charlie Ray becoming the new police chief raises some questions.
Well, John, I got to say that if I was a betting man, and I have wagered a few in my day, I would be putting the house on it being Chuck Ray.
Oh yeah,
You know,
I think
you don't put the guy that's on the force on the final two lists unless your intentions are to pick him. Now,
meaning the desired result.
Yeah, the desired, depending on who you talk to, desired result. And that'll be the interesting part because, there's still a vote to be had once they get down to the one finalist. And let's assume, hypothetically, for right now, that that's going to be Chuck Ray. The question is, how's the vote going to go? Is it going to be a 4-0, or are we going to have maybe a split?
There's possibilities first. So first, both candidates have to show up tomorrow.
Yes, both candidates do have to show up tomorrow.
Both candidates have to show up. So that's
they don't have to show up, I guess. I mean, they could bail out, but
one could bail, both could bail, neither could bail. All right, but we have to be prepared for everything. We have to be prepared that they're going to be interviewing two or one candidate tomorrow. And then depending on the answers, like you said, we have to be prepared on what will the vote be. Now, Charlie Ray should not be penalized, hypothetically speaking, if the other candidate was to step down and Charlie Ray is the only one to be interviewed tomorrow, he shouldn't be penalized for that. He still gets, he went through the process just like everybody else, and we'll answer the questions.
It's stunning to me with all the stuff that's gone on in Canton over the last 2 or 3 years, 4 years, that we go in to do a nationwide search for the next police chief, and lo and behold, one of the two candidates is right here in Canton already.
Right there. I guess so. We can get into that. We can, we could play the little. I'm gonna be sarcastic, people. This isn't what happened. All right, I'm just playing a little game here. It could be. Get ready for this. We've always promoted from within. We promoted after Bright. It went from Bright to Berkowitz to Rafferty. Rafferty to, hypothetically speaking, Ray. You know, they've always, it in the history of the town, we've always gone from within, promoted from within. And, you know, you have to be ready for them to say, uh, we've always done it that way. It saved us money, but you guys wanted a nationwide search. So we paid for a company to come in and do this nationwide search. And lo and behold, the person that we, ended up with was who we wanted in the first place. And we would have saved a lot of money had you just minded your own business and let us do it our way. Like
John, the other part about this is that if the circumstances in Canton were what they are now, and they were in search of a new chief, and Charlie was a finalist under normal circumstances, everybody'd be thrilled. I'd be thrilled. I like him, but I don't like him right now in that position. Maybe as the chief that follows this incoming chief, but not the right guy and in the right situation. He's going to be put into an awful situation this way. I mean, and he obviously put his hand up and volunteered to put his name in the ring for this.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have an answer for that. He had a very limited role in the first trial, and we can pull up his first trial. Let's pull up what he had to say in the first trial.
Lally.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir. I believe that vehicle there is Mr. O'Keefe's vehicle. And I didn't know it at the time, but I have since reviewed.
Move to strike.
So let him finish his. You didn't know it at the time, but you have since what?
I have since reviewed this video, and I can tell that there is a.
Okay, the objection sustained.
All right, so and there he is at the door. That's his contribute to the first trial. So basically, he never noticed anything about the taillight at the time. That's what he was trying to say. I didn't notice it at the time, but now that I reviewed the tape, he was going to say that there was damage to her vehicle that he could tell, and that would have been argumentative because everyone would have to look for themselves. The jury would have had to look for themselves. And they would have to look at the same video as he's looking at, and so that's why he wasn't allowed to.
The prosecution on redirect didn't bring anything up about it again.
No, they didn't even. No, he didn't even get cross-examined. So, yeah. So that was the extent of his testimony in the first trial. I don't have anything bad to say about him. I just have a feeling that, that again, similar to you guys wanted a police audit. We got you the audit. We narrowed the scope to what we wanted, and we got the desired results that we wanted. And now you're going to be, you wanted a new police chief. We did a nationwide search for a police chief, and we got the desired results that we wanted. Could be. You never know.
We're going to find out.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how, we're going to find out tomorrow a lot. Hopefully we get a lot of answers that we've been looking for. I'm not that optimistic, but it's going to be an interesting process for sure tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's all about the process because, like you said earlier, okay, they still have to vote on this. The select board still has the final vote. Now, is it going to be one of those, and we'll have to wait and see, all right? If it comes down to the two candidates, and they said, let's vote, someone's going to say, I want this candidate, let's vote on it. I want this candidate, let's vote on it, right? It could be 2-2, not 3-2, but it could be 3-2 because Chris apparently would be able to vote on this. But
Explain why.
it's a rule of necessity. It's a Massachusetts thing that select board members to keep things moving so that it doesn't get bogged down. He could vote, but they could also tell him. I mean, there's just so many possibilities.
So in the onset and throughout this process so far, he has abstained, hasn't been part of the process because his brother is on the police force.
A detective, yep.
Detective. The
Right.
issue then changes a little though if the vote ends up being 2-2. We don't know what the vote's going to be, and we're just using hypotheticals for right now. But let's say the vote's 2-2. That's when it'll trigger the rule of necessity. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yep.
And then he'll end up, if that's the case, if that's how the scenario works, he'll end up choosing the police chief or having that final vote
Correct.
if he votes to accept Chuck Ray for the chief position.
So in Massachusetts, small towns like Canton, the rule of necessity allows disqualified elected officials, selectmen, select board members, with conflicts of interest to still vote, but only as a last resort when legally required, like passing a budget, meeting deadline, stuff like this, right? And where it's basically it's not a statute. It just it was determined by judicial interpretation, and it allows the board to have their quorum. Um, it's just I don't know. It's just something that doesn't happen a lot, but it's not a written law, but it's a principle developed by Massachusetts courts.
Would it definitely take place? I mean, is it out of necessity?
No,
They don't
what if they don't need his vote? What if it's 3-0?
Oh yeah.
Right.
We're going on the
What if it's
hypothetical.
4-0? Hypothetical.
I'm just saying, as far as the rule of necessity, is this
Mhm.
really a necessity, or can they continue to go on and repost the position again and look for different candidates, or is
They
that ship?
could definitely. Yep. I don't know if that's your computer or my computer that's jammed up, but you went a little bit wonky, but hopefully not. Um, there's multiple possibilities. It could be a unanimous vote, one way or the other.
Mhm.
It could be they could unanimously decide to be a strong board to show that they are in support of who this new chief is going to be. Or it could be a split vote. Somebody could be like, no, I do not want this to happen. I think we should go back into the pool and pull out some. Did you know that there was a Rhode Island, what do you call the head of the state police? Colonel that was in the running at some point?
A active.
I don't know. It's just. I'd love to see all the all the people that put their names in. But
I'd like to see that the listed names, and then the other part of it is who did they eliminate, and who eliminated
I know.
themselves, who withdrew their names
for whatever reason, whether it's
for
money,
whatever,
whether it
for
was
whatever reason.
moving
But
to
if you
Canton,
put your
whatever the
name in
reason,
the hat,
right?
there's got to be reasons why you pulled it out too.
Yep.
They're not throwing around police chief jobs left and right. So I would assume that if you're in law enforcement, it's a pretty coveted position, and you get an opportunity to become the chief. You're gonna go right to the finish line to hopefully make that happen for yourself.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And get ready for this, folks. Be ready that here's another buzzing. Could Perkins stay on longer? That's another possibility. Say the board decides that, you know what, yeah, these are the final two, but maybe one decided to bail out. Now we're down to one, but uh, and we want to go back. They could ask Perkins, "Hey, would you do a couple more months while we pick the three more or whatever it is?"
I
five
think
more,
that he would
or-
probably stay. I don't know that he'd, be up. And I don't want to speak for him. Obviously, I don't know.
but
But
they can ask.
I would assume that he's going to stay, whether it's till the end of the month or another 6 months. But I don't think you're going to see him stay another full year.
No, but they can ask. They can ask him. Say, "Hey,
Sure, absolutely.
you have a fan, Eric.
Hey, what can I say?
Hey, you take it when you can get it." So tomorrow we got to be prepared for anything. Be prepared for two candidates to show up to town hall, for one candidate to show up to town hall, for them to vote unanimously for one of them and they're going to be doing this in private anyways. They're not going to be doing this right. They're going to go in the back, do an executive meeting, figure it out. Then the next time they come out, they'll do the fake let's vote. They already know how they're all going to vote. That's when they go, okay, just how it goes in every town. Not
Yeah,
just
I would think when you get down to the final two, you've figured it out by now.
right. So,
The interviews are more of a formality than anything.
that'd be a great question. It'd be a great thing if people would ever be able to talk to Perkins maybe after the fact. When Perkins is done, it'd be a great thing to have someone to reach out and see if he'd want to talk about his experience in 6 months in the town.
Maybe he'd like to do that on the Canton Chronicle.
Maybe. Doesn't hurt to ask.
Doesn't hurt to ask, Josh.
Right. You got it,
We've
Not
gotten
gonna
we've gotten no's before.
that's right. I'm not gonna hit the ball just by standing in the batter's box. Heard one of the final 3, 4, 6, 7 others through 30 is backed out. Not worth the hassle. Yeah, it all depends on what the hassle is. Also be prepared. Helena's gone. Paul DG and Petro's gone. Gallagher's gone. Kelleher's gone. Patty Sherrill's on her way out. Lenhart's gone. Piro's gone. Who else am I missing? Berkowitz is gone. The son, Ben, right? Who do you think would be deputy police chief if it becomes?
Let's not lock Patty is out yet.
She's still deputy chief right now.
Yeah, and I'm hearing rumblings. There's a chance she sticks around for a while, but
Yeah, but she's almost aged out anyway. She can go whenever she wants.
yeah, but it's not like she's that old.
Not saying that, but once you get your time in, you can do. But if Charles Ray becomes police chief, here's another thing you got to be ready for. Your buddy Lanka could be deputy chief. Something to think
That
about.
certainly would be interesting.
Correct. And we love Lanka. He's a good guy. I've come around on him.
Yeah, I mean, I never, prior to all this stuff, I never, saw anything wrong with Lanka.
No,
And I don't
think
know, I don't know enough. I'm not going to throw out accusations or anything. I think he got
snookered, hoodwinked.
very possible. Yeah. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean that he couldn't have come back out of that and kind of come out of the ether and who knows? I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, iced coffee girl. You know what? I like that one right there. I would have no problem with Teddy Lehan being a deputy chief. I don't have a problem with Teddy.
Yeah.
What?
Not so sure.
I don't have a problem with him.
I'm sure you don't.
Everybody's got their people.
Sure.
He's not my person. Listen, I haven't talked to Teddy and probably I said one word to him last year. I said hi, and I don't think he answered me. And before that, I probably haven't.
Whitey said hi to him about 3 times, and he just looked the other way.
I know, but
They used to be friends.
Yeah, well, You're like Eric Wade said, you're either with us or against us. And they drew a line in the sand and they circled the wagons, and that's why 3 years later, that's where we are. So,
Let's not forget about Zeph.
yeah, there's another one. You know, how much time he got?
Who knows? Goody might be back.
Good, he's not coming back.
Yeah.
Goody was in the news again for they want some information that he's not turning over.
Why wouldn't he turn that over, John? I mean, didn't a judge? Wasn't that a court order?
Yeah, tons of people just disobey court orders.
Law enforcement.
Here you go. You want Helena back? All right. Why?
Is she still directing traffic?
I wouldn't put it past her. You know, Christmas season, got to make that money.
Kelly Dever's still available.
Telling you, Massachusetts, Massachusetts is one of those states that just won't allow flaggers. They just any kind of construction has to be police. Flaggers are not qualified to wave vehicles by.
John, I was at an airport in North Carolina yesterday. And not one state trooper there. It's all security. It's well managed. The traffic flows nicely. The security.
There was no statey outside screaming at you to move your car.
In fact, the security guys that they're very responsive to the people waiting for their rides, and they're like, "Hey, if you see your ride, let me know, and I'll let them in. Otherwise, people gotta keep going, and then they come back." It was refreshing.
Listen, as much as I just joked about that, just think of the poor statey that has to walk up and down the terminal, right? Just yelling at people nonstop just to move because nobody pays attention to what any of the rules are. And yeah, Changeling got it. Logan's a cluster. I had a part-time job for a long time. I drove a limo and I did a lot of airport pickups, and it's a mess. But at least after a while, you get to see the same troopers in there. You kind of know what you can get away with, what you can't. You know,
it's mainly a mess because there's been so much construction going on at Logan lately. The airport down in North Carolina, the same amount of traffic was coming in and out of there. It was organized chaos.
Yep. Yeah, it's just New England, Boston. It's a different thing. I don't know. We should have. You know what? I should have asked if they wanted to come on and talk about it. But maybe after. How about tomorrow night? After the. We'll see if they want to watch. Or they'll probably be there. They'll probably be at the select board meeting.
Maybe you'll have to send Brenda a link and have her do a remote location at the Sala meeting room.
Oh yeah. But well, I have nothing going on tomorrow, so I will. I guess I'll stream it, and we'll have a streaming party to watch what happens with these 2 or 1 candidates. You know, I don't know. There's a lot of options. So, I made the joke with today when we put the StreamYard up. Your new police chief. It's a 50-50 shot. I mean, maybe chances are I'm right.
Big 50.
Right. It's a calculated guess. I mean, he was right there under your noses at all times. I mean, I don't know why you needed to do a search. What do we know about Daniels? He was a lieutenant in Marlborough, Westboro. Where was he?
I'm not sure whether it's the one from Westboro or it's the one from Oxford. I believe Oxford.
I don't think the one from Oxford's coming all the way out to Canton.
Well, I think
Westboro, I can see.
Well, what's wrong with relocating, especially if you're going to get a raise?
Well, and relocating money too. I don't know. Oxford's different. It's different out there. It's a lot slower. Higgy's no longer at the Higgy's no longer at Canton PD. That was one of the first things that the interim chief Perkins did was the window and Higgins. Did you happen to see on a different note, Megyn Kelly had a YouTube show today, and she had the lawyer on. And it was just a little over an hour, I think. I watched for at least an hour. He's pretty good. He's
knows
really
his
good on that show. Yeah,
He's not,
really good.
not 100%, but he's probably 96% of getting it all accurate.
Yeah. I mean, there wasn't much I disagreed with. He was, I mean, like you said, he doesn't get it all right. He was close, and I know you. It's a time thing on her show.
I mean, you're not going to spend more than an hour and 20 minutes on the Megyn Kelly show. And like he even said, he goes, I could spend an hour or 6 hours, and there's not enough time to talk about all the details within this case.
Yep. He went through, the Hoss Long. He went through. I mean, there's things like you said. There's stuff that 3 years later we were going through, and still just like finding stuff that did not match the testimony. That I mean, it takes so long to process both trials, and then to see that like that's not what we all saw. It's like Kerry, we get it. She swore. She picked up the phone. Yeah, you picked up the phone at 6:15. Doesn't mean it was somebody had it at 6 o'clock to 6:11. That it wasn't moving around. And then the fact that there's only a couple cops there, and you don't know which one you handed it to. And then all of a sudden, that same phone has the similar movements that could place it in Jen's house at 11 o'clock. I mean, that phone, once it was given to a Canton officer and brought back to the police station, should never have moved.
No,
it shouldn't have moved. But yet, it registered steps, and that was the state troopers. And you had one of them saying that he got it after they were at the hospital, which means the next time that they would have been at the police station would have been around 5:30. And you had the other one saying you got it before, and then you look at the steps and you're like, I believe you got it before, because it shows steps going into the station, it shows steps coming out of the station, then it shows steps again at 11. Well, where were they at 11? They were at Jen's house. So similar movements. Someone could argue that possibly that phone was inside of Jen's house at 11 o'clock.
Did you find it odd that when Kerry was testifying, she testified that she gave the phone to a first responder? Now, as we all know, first responders can be fire department, police department, but you would think that she would know that whether she gave it to a police officer or an EMT or a firefighter.
Well, the EMTs would have been gone.
And exactly, they would have been gone.
They would have been gone.
How do you not know who
walked up to you and said
that particular phone?
Right. And if you know someone said that, you'd probably remember if you were you sitting in your car and he was looking in the window, or were you already back out of your car standing around and the guy approached you and said, "Hey, you got John's phone." And I handed it to him. Yeah, well, was it a big guy? Was it Lanka? Was it Goody? Who was it? Who would have asked? I don't think a fireman would have been asking her for John's phone.
I don't think they would have been concerned about that phone one bit.
No.
Whereas police, sure.
Right.
The other thing she testified to was that she had her phone and John's phone and I believe one other phone all at the same time. Karen's.
Which would have placed
three
her in
phones.
the vehicle. Yep.
But we don't have data from 3 phones that show they were together or anything like that. You would think that that would have been looked into as well.
You would have had to sync up. You would have had to get Kerry's phone. All you have is her calls right now. And another thing, he didn't get into this. The fact that the court misplaced all of Jen's phone calls after February 1st. How do you misplace evidence in the biggest trial in our lifetime? And now that's gone too. It's just one thing after another. And like he said, you can't say that someone was corrupt. Like he said, he never would have tried this case. He never would have tried it either way. And there are people on social media that every day will let you know that nobody else will ever be tried for John's, succumbing. They let you know this because that's how confident they feel that they are not going to get caught because all the evidence is gone. When did Kerry get Karen's phone? It was in the car. No. So when Kerry and Karen first left, because she left, came back with Karen, and they left again. When she first left, Kerry is saying that she took the phone from Karen 2 different times. One time Karen was talking to John's sister, cousin, someone, and the other time it was to Karen's mother. And that she happened to have John's phone on her still. So that means, which there is a small little gap of time where the phone wasn't moving. And then when they came back, she handed it to someone, and then that's where that phone continues to show steps until 9 o'clock. Well, we know what happened at 8 o'clock. We know what happened at 8:30. That's when they went back to the police station. So that's how Kerry had Karen's phone.
And she, during the interview she did the other day on the podcast there, she said she was talking to Karen's mother while she was walking away from the scene a little bit down towards Cedar Crest.
No, that was when she was talking to John's mother. When she said she made a couple calls.
Oh, I thought she had said that.
First, what do you think is going to happen?
Say again?
What do you think is going to happen tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I think they're going to do the interviews. Probably, I would assume.
2?
I'm going to assume 2. They put 2 on the
Agenda.
2 on the agenda.
Mhm.
Unless 1 or 2 of them have chosen not to take that position, they're not going to show up tomorrow. But I got to assume they're going to show up.
There is one thing about Charlie Ray that I will say, and he's not a fan of people taking pictures of the police vehicles. There was a time last year in which he approached some people in public and asked them to delete the photos that they took. Not a fan of people taking photos of them. So that's
We'll say that again.
it was in public property in town, and it's near on town property, and he wasn't happy with his picture being taken. Yeah. Yep.
I wonder why.
Well, just letting them know that it's not a crime to take your picture, and so if you're going to be chief, you're going to be in a lot of pictures, so you better start getting ready to smile.
He didn't say something like something. He didn't use his authority as an officer to.
Yeah.
to intimidate people to just delete the photos,
Some,
or
yeah.
I don't like hearing that.
And that's being as discreet as I can put it.
And it's
That's-
at this stage, I would assume we're still allegedly talking.
Yeah, we'll say allegedly. We're allegedly talking about an incident in which he allegedly told some young adults, "You're not allowed to take pictures of me."
Yeah, and I know this has been talked about quite a bit, but it's tough to avoid the whole Walpole Terrace drama that went on when he owned the house behind at the
Correct.
now end of, what is it, Walpole Terrace? Yeah.
Correct, because that's going to be. I mean, it's in the past, but it was a stark moment in which he bought a house at the end of a dead end road that had a really narrow front driveway, and he redesigned his house and his yard to face the opposite way. Was able to get the town to put a something in the warrant to change his address so that it became, instead of Walpole Street, his house address became Walpole Terrace. It passed at town meeting, and it was under the guise of the new 911 system and for fire department and such. And it was just really because he bought this tiny little house that was, back in those days, they were cottages. They were the area of, I grew up, I was a paper boy. I know the house. There were all these little cottages. So we bought this little cottage, fixed it up really nice, addition on it, fixed the yard, and switched the front door to the back door, and vice versa, and got the address changed. But then, in doing so, now you have to put up with F&F Power, which is in an industrial neighborhood, and every day you're driving by a fix-it shop, a snowblower and lawnmower fix-it shop, and some people just don't like that, and they butted heads for many years.
Well, the other concern there too is that some of the new landscape that he put in was on town property.
Of course it was, but they're not going to change that back now.
No, I know, I understand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. It happens. People do work and improvements on their house. I mean, you look at the guy that Prestige Car Wash. He had, I saw it, so don't even have to say allegedly. He had dump trucks bring in fill, and he filled in area in his yard, and he's got waterfront property right there on the res, and he fought so hard to get people not to park along the wall of the res, and you couldn't fish off the wall at the res, and they hassled anybody that dared stop over there or hang out there. Berkey at the time said he used to run that, he'd jog by, and he said he went and said it was a hazard, and they had to put no parking signs up. But when you go and I did this, I went and measured, there was more than enough room for 2 vehicles to park on that right there by the wall, and for people to still get by before you even get to the road. It was just they were doing the guy a solid. It was one of those, hey, rich influential guy that is living on the res, and let's put everybody down in, and that's where all the Earl Newhouse improvements ended up starting. So the cottages were built to house the people who built the viaduct. They were little cottages right there.
What, on the res?
No, on Walpole Terrace.
Oh, on Walpole Terrace. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Marie, we'll stream it tomorrow. Yep, I'll have we'll have a watch party.
Outside of when the actual vote happens, this is going to be the biggest select board meeting of the year, I would say.
All the town employees and select board have prestige sticks on everything. Oh, you want to get that salt off there, you know. So no boat launch. It's still 2 rules. You're right. Still 2 rules. You can put a kayak in, and they get their motorboats. But you know what? It was a fight that you were never going to win. Much like a lot of the fights with the select board that we've been seeing time and time again over the last 3-4 years. Nope, they won't. I don't think they're going to do the voting tomorrow night. I think what they'll do is they'll interview them tomorrow, and then they'll do a
Narrow it down to 1.
No, I think what they'll do is they'll go into an executive session and they'll brainstorm and decide. They'll get a feeling of who they like, and then they'll vote on that.
Well, I got to assume the vote for chief would be public when they get it down to 1.
No public comment tomorrow.
No public comment tomorrow. Well, they've got a busy agenda. They got 2 candidates coming in. You got to figure. Well, it's an interview process for the biggest job in the police department. You got to figure it's going to be an hour for each, anyways.
Yeah. 5,000 a year deductible gift from Prestige. He did have an illegal fence down there that they never made him pull up. He did put a little fence down there because he didn't want people bringing their little boats across. He did want that.
The mitigation fund?
Oh, I don't know. Somebody doesn't know that I'm live.
So, John, I wonder if when this process is over, or even now, is to get the information on who all the candidates were and any correspondence with the decision makers, if those types of correspondence would be FOIA-able, or something the public can get their hands on.
Oh, it could be. Lisa, it's 3 years. Each select board member is 3 years, and they're all kind of staggered. So this year it will be JR and Chris in the spring that will be up. And then next year it would be Mike Lochran and I think Trish, right? And then the year after that, Susan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this spring it's JR and Chris. Which,
and as of right now, and normally you don't hear whether people are running until probably late January. But
normally,
nobody that's an incumbent has declared that they want to run again.
Right. And we do know that one of the Beckhams is running.
Julie. Is it Julie?
Julie Beckham. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't know, but you know what? There's rumors all around town about everything. So, maybe Chris runs, maybe he doesn't, maybe JR runs, maybe he doesn't. I can tell you this, I don't see them running a joint campaign like last time, I think it'll be everybody on their own because
every man for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think JR is going to be hitching his wagon to Chris's campaign if Chris runs.
It's gonna be an interesting campaign season.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the real question is how many candidates are gonna run?
Oh, I know there's others that have reached out to different people asking about different things about the election. So I know it'll be more than just Julie Beckham. That the one that's the Beckham that's
I believe
the other one's on the radio. Yeah, Julie's.
I'm sure Gary Titus can help us out to make sure we're accurate on that.
Right. I know. Oh, that ship has sailed. I'm not coming back. You know,
You're out.
it was a fleet, and yeah, I thought about it. I really like being where I am. Chrissy couldn't run a fever.
Listen, just because you made a decision for this year doesn't mean you can't make the decision next year.
If I, I'll tell you, if I win that 1 billion um, Mega Millions or whatever it is, Powerball, maybe I'll move back. Yeah. Yep.
I don't think it'd take too long to get 50 signatures.
Is she on the air right now? Is that what is that why we don't have so many? We have like 42 people. Is Lauren on the air right now? There, Eric, Gary. Is that why? Hey, no, she's the one that's on the air. So it needs David Beckham. Yeah, there you go. Great guy, David Beckham. Chrissy runs. Oh, Chris does have a. I have to remind him about his court date coming up in. I think it's in January. Chris has that credit card court date. I have to remind him. I don't want him to forget and miss it, and then have a bench warrant put out for him again. You know, maybe Leonetti will pay for it. You know, Nick Shirley. Look, everybody moved to Canton. We don't know. We're gonna wait and see what happens. You know.
When is that?
I have the poster still in my car.
Before or after the election?
Oh, it's before.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
If it was after, I wouldn't give a rat's ass. Sorry.
No, it's before the election. Yeah.
Or if he comes out and says I'm not running again, then I don't care. Then do your thing.
Oh, it's over. Yeah. Oh, so I took a little time off for Christmas. This was an emergency show tonight. This one wasn't planned, obviously. And I did get a call from my old neighbor because of the location over here on Page Street. I used to live on Bolivar Street, and she's like, they had drones up and police and this and that. I don't know what happened. I really don't. I kind of scanned the interweb, Facebook and Twitter, to see if anything. There wasn't much on it. Eric, did you hear?
I
I
didn't hear. I didn't hear anything that I could speak upon.
Right. I mean, I know there was a SWAT team, multiple
really
towns.
There was no. I didn't see a press release on anything. Seemed like a pretty big event that got no media attention.
Nothing at all. They shut down the center. They shut down a couple streets and nothing.
I mean, Channel 4 comes in. The Channel 4 comes in if anything happens, but not that.
Yeah. No. I don't know. Maybe Rita runs again. I haven't spoken with her, but anything's a possibility.
I think there's, I don't know this for sure, but I think there's probably a pretty good chance that Dave Clow might be running.
Oh yeah, there's another one.
I saw a post on that the other day, and I thought that was interesting. Dave's on the finance committee now. He was on the police audit committee, and a very vocal, outspoken. Had his little. I don't want to say little. They were pointed moments with Bob McCarthy.
Absolutely. I'm going to just look up SWAT team in Canton and see what happens. I just want to, because now I'm nosy. I don't think there's going to be anything. December 16th, 2025. That was December 16th. Something. Did you know that something happened on? Oh yes, I know. I did know that happened.
What?
That was that 16-year-old. The shooting up on 138 there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the a shelter in place on 138. That was
That was
Tuesday.
allegedly a Facebook marketplace sale gone bad.
Yeah, taken into custody without incident. But then, yeah, there was a shelter in place at 8:30 on December 15th. But there's nothing about the Christmas one.
Well, wasn't there also an incident at
Yes,
within one of the school systems?
Yeah.
Was it the high school or middle school?
I
It
believe
was the high school, right?
Yeah.
What happened there, Joe?
That was justice for a friend. I think that was he wanted justice for a friend. I like Klaus Energy standing in solidarity with Kathleen on that. Yeah, it was a clown show. We all saw it. We all saw that was the remember when they decided to bring it to Pequot side just to keep everybody out. So it was you have a minimum amount of people and they had to rotate people through and I think Dennis Sweeney had something to say at that meeting. to
He whispered.
yeah,
He was
to Bob
whispering.
McCarthy. Yeah, the Irish whisper to Bob McCarthy. Yeah, I don't have
I wish we had that video teed up right now.
oh my god. Yeah, we're gonna have to. So, well, speaking of which, this is our last show of the year
No,
of 2020.
well, yeah, show, but you got tomorrow.
Yeah, but this is our last show of the year.
Correct.
Yeah, and we weren't even prepared for it. We have no bloopers to put out there. We have no what was your favorite episode? I don't know. Well, let's hang on. Let's talk about it for a minute. What do you have a favorite either memory or episode or anything?
So the episode with Lucky and Yannetti will always stand out as the number one episode for me. I enjoyed talking to both of them. I thought they both brought a lot to the show and
Mhm.
certainly helped us out a lot as a show. But more importantly, I think it gave a lot of insight into who David Yannetti and more so who Lucky Loughran is.
Yeah, that was a lot. You know what? That was a lot of work putting that together. That was a lot of work for me putting that together, and David made it so much better. I had a private conversation with David that afternoon, which was it was life changing. It was awesome. And I actually talked to I texted him and wished him Merry Christmas, and we exchanged some words.
I know that you had met him prior to the show. I had never met him at all. And I don't think, just because you had met him, I don't think he had any idea what the Canton Chronicle was. And,
No, he didn't.
And without bat an eyelash, when Lucky asked him to do the show, it was an instant yes. There was no second. He probably had to go and say, okay, what is this show going on after the fact? But it was refreshing to hear him speak about, how he felt about Lucky.
Well, when I first talked to him, he had just come back from Europe. He had spent like 2-3 weeks in Europe, and he knew who I was. He just didn't know we had a show or anything. I mean, nobody knows we have a show. We have let me check here. We have 200 people that know we have a show. Okay, so he said, "Hey, so what is this?" And I told him, I told him, how it came to be. I gave him the details, and he was all in right from the go, all for Lucky. And he made it so much easier. my favorite show. Well, I really liked Elena's send off.
Yeah.
I because because um because we didn't do it in a mean way. We had a little fun with it, and we had a lot of people that we were able to kind of move through, and I'm sure she knows that it wasn't done with mean intentions too. So, um, she- you know, normally I don't. Normally we're not on Monday, so
You know, John, and the other thing is that very first show where I wasn't a co-host and I was a guest with Whitey and I believe
oh, that was Peter and Whitey and Dennis. Was Dennis that in there too?
oh yeah, it was Dennis, Whitey,
You mean the
myself.
one where Whitey couldn't? He just couldn't log on, and he was sideways, and then just the forehead. Oh,
Yeah, because back then I didn't know what to expect. I mean, it was your first show. I'm like,
Yeah.
here we go.
yeah, live is tough. I will say well, I mean, the Whitey bloopers was great. Obviously, any show about Chris. I really enjoyed the Cronkbusters when we
Yeah, that was fun.
when we flat out proved that there was no way that Chris could have walked home from the bar and gotten there ahead of Colin. Um, and I think we could have done just about everything off of that. Like we could have recreated Jen getting up and down at the table to her testimony on how many times and match it up. You know, we could have, you could take the measurements of a colonial and see where the table is in the kitchen, measure to the front door and get an iPhone and do steps and go back and forth. Like literally like Cronkbusters. Yeah. And we had some great guests. Yeah. So Nan was our first big guest in the beginning. We had Larry Smith. Obviously, one of our other really, really good guests that we had, and we will have him back on.
Give us fucking McDonough, and we'll go easy on you.
Gotta have McDonough.
We probably
Yeah.
should have brought McDonough on for the year-end show tonight. It was a little too impromptu. We weren't,
I know.
I think it was the fact that we realized that tomorrow is the, I couldn't be around on Sunday. Things happened. But we had to get ourselves out here right now to make sure everybody understood tomorrow's a big, big day. And we, not only show up to the Salad Meeting Room, but if you can't make it, show up to the Canton Chronicle YouTube
So
live.
Yep, we'll have it on. You can go to Canton Cable Access, because they're the ones that are they're really the unsung heroes. And if I'm sure the jerk will be posting it too. Maybe I'll reach out to him, see if he wants to come on with us, and we'll do a dual show. He likes to stream it. I don't like stepping on his toes, so maybe I'll reach out, see if he wants to do a duel. But you're right. You go there because we don't know what's going to happen. We have a feeling we know what's going to happen, but
A betting man's feeling.
very, very calculated. I'm not just splitting the zero and the double zero. All right, I'm putting it all down on one. I'm putting it down on red.
Let it ride.
Let that thing ride. There's another blooper I will never forget is when Boozy fell out of her chair when she was playing with the dog and then she went off the rails. We had who else did we have we've had a lot of guests. We had we did the trash. We collected
Yeah,
We
that was
collected trash. We did we did an election coverage when you left me. We had the election coverage.
I
we,
didn't.
no, we didn't do the Halloween parade this year. I missed that. I totally blew that one. We should get a float for next year.
Hmm.
We should get Halloween float. Yeah,
Oh,
Chronicle Halloween float. Team, yeah, we are a Timu show. Um,
they'll still sticky in the back of the parade.
they will. Oh, the costumes is going to be this giant float. We could have a giant float. The we had. Oh, I mean, early on, you know, the when I was doing the lives in front of wasn't even this show, was it? When I was still doing the costumes and the chickens and all the antics in front of Mike Loughran's house.
Listen,
I don't
don't say when you were, because you're not done with that.
Yeah.
It's just not your style. You're not a costume.
I've left them be. I did tell him. I did tell him when you go back to non-Zoom, it'll end, and they did. You know.
I thought that was the memes.
No, the memes was yeah. See, the Chronicle wasn't. We hadn't born yet. That was the year before the chicken, the elephant, and all that stuff was the year before. That's what started the Chronicle. That was like you had to go somewhere from the costume.
I miss the electronic newspaper version of the Canton Chronicle.
Yeah, life got a little busy. Life got a little busy.
You became a star, John. I mean, you're
Star is born. Okay, the star's about to flame out. Oh, with the shows with Dennis, yeah, Dennis Sweeney. The shows with Dennis and Brenda, Peter Murphy.
Let's not forget the mayor of Canton, Gary Titus.
Yeah. Oh, hey now. Yep. We had the. We had the first night we opened up the lines and we had Jeremy. We had Jeremy on like for a couple nights. Sorry, Jeremy, we never did come up with a. I had ideas for you, but it just you know. Yeah, I get. See now I want to look. Now I want to look at some of the shows here real quick.
What are you looking for?
I'm just looking at my episodes. Our episodes. Let's see. 171 videos on there. Oh, geez. I know why, because there were a lot of Matt ones. So, back. There's David and Lucky. Yeah, it was the trash. Gone. Oh, the songs. You can't forget the songs. We got,
the album.
Now, there is a song. It's coming, folks. It's a winter song, so you didn't have to rush it. It's in the works. We have a new song in the works. It's a wintry song. That's all I'm gonna leave that at. Yeah. Then there was the Lanka. There was a bunch of there was the we had that kid on from that Lanka took his possessions and then wouldn't give them back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that is the what do they call it? He goes around and audits the police with video.
Mass accountability.
Mass accountability, exactly.
Mass accountability. Yeah.
That was a fun show as well.
The audits, when we expose the auditors for being pretty much just union representatives to the to that sham of a audit that it was. Sadly, the Tim Taylor episodes that we had to do.
How about the audit committee criticizing certain individuals that were peacefully protesting outside of the police department? Was that part of their agenda? Did they were supposed to look into how peaceful protesters protest and what their agenda is?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The hockey show. The one
Rear
raffle
Admiral,
the Rear Admiral, right? We had Rear Admiral. How about the raffle that we did that I messed up immediately? You know, I to that we have a Kronk watching sweatshirt has been ordered. So
You
we
haven't
talked-
got that sweatshirt out to Sherry yet?
Oh no, Sherry told me not to, but this other person, because I messed up two people.
Ah,
Yeah. Mizzy. We had Mizzy on a couple
Missy,
times.
yeah, absolutely, Missy. I'd like to have Missy back on. She's
Absolutely.
especially with we really should be doing more on the Sandra Birchmore.
You're forgetting our second ever episode.
Which was, well, that was with, yeah, that was my first as the
Yeah.
official co-host.
That was with the Duck King.
The Duck King, he's awesome.
Richie Schiffer. And then the night that that was either the first or the second show where we had the thunderstorm just came through in February and knocked me off. You guys were able to hold the fort while I lost power. Oh, there's Richie Schiffer.
Where is he? I think he's down in some very warm climate.
Yeah, yes, Richie. Yeah, Richie. I do know who owns that that area. Yeah. Gail White. The Gail White episode in which she wouldn't take a breath.
He was awesome. What a great episode that was.
Yeah. Yeah, Sean on the Go, Susan Harrington when we did the trash. I mean,
it's been a
good
again,
year.
I wish we never had to start this show.
Yeah,
Or
I
you
know.
had to start this show, but we've come a long way in 10 months.
Or when we sent Brandy and Boozy down to the court, and we thought that was going to be a disaster, and then they pulled it out of their butts at the last second and saw Karen. That was a good one. Yeah, no, we had a lot of fun.
Failure is not an option with those women.
No. But you know what it is? It was live. We it's not pre-recorded, people. None of us were pre-recorded.
Except during the crunk busting.
Except for the Cronkbusters. But I mean, obviously we can't, we can't be doing that live because I'm sure that there'd be certain people that'd be watching that would want to derail the show any way they could, knowing that we were trying to do it live. So
What, they don't love the show?
yeah, I mean, out of this, what are we, 206? Out of these 206 people, 216 people, I'm sure that there's probably 16 to 20 of them that are just waiting for us to fail.
Hey,
Or
we've
do something.
gone from 14 to 226. That's not bad.
Yeah, remember that when we said 10 to 14 people and they care about Canton are watching, we'll keep doing this.
Listen, I never thought we'd have 500 people that would hit the subscribe button.
Oh, what about the lemon shots? No, not lemon. What the heck was that stuff?
Ginger
shots. The
shots.
ginger shots.
Oh,
Oh, of course, our buddy Rocco. He's good for 2 to 3 episodes a year.
your buddy.
Rocco.
I don't think he likes me too much.
No, we had the information about the Mass Hospital School. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot. It wasn't just Karen Reed. We did do a lot of Karen Reed, but it, 275.
How about the fact that we've become part of the Muppets?
Oh yeah, we got the we now we now have Muppet status. You know, um,
as well as a few other Kronks.
we've had a great wasn't oh my God, James Jackson.
Yeah,
James Jackson. We had James Jackson.
great guest.
Great guest. He's another one of those that has all he has to do is text me, and James Jackson and Sean on the Gulf have standing they can come on anytime they want. If they want to tell us how things are going.
We're also the only ones that have Pricks Insider sponsoring us.
Yeah. Should I call Sean, see if he's sleeping?
Wake him up.
Let's call Sean. I'm gonna say live to tape too. How long ago?
Sean, if you're watching, live to tape.
I have to scroll because I can't look at that. I don't know the last time I talked to him. Holy crap. Oh my God. All right, hold on. See if he answers it. Can you hear that?
Oh yeah.
He's probably in bed. He's old.
Oh, stop it.
He watches us on
Your
replay.
call has been forwarded to
He
voicemail.
watches us on replay. Yeah. There you go.
We get a lot of replay. I like that.
Yeah.
We with the Canton Chronicle Facebook page just got its first member from Italy. I thought that was awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
We have a ton of our Canadian. Well, I got a lot of Canadian cousins that are watching. So, hello to all of you who are 1 hour ahead. It's 9:43 up there. You know. The June trip. What was the June trip? What did we do in June? Did we do something in June?
Was that?
June trip.
Did we go to the farm in Sharon?
Oh no, you're right. We did that when we took Dennis to the maze.
To the maze, yes. The
Yeah, yeah. And that was a good one. And we went to and Boozy and I went to the Canton High hockey game. We didn't record that, but I mean, there was a ton of stuff. This was a busy year. Yeah, we went to Woodsbury Farm in Sharon. Yeah, it was
that was
busy year.
really a good time. I had no idea it was even there.
A little hot. It was a little hot for me.
Yeah, but something that was still a fun day.
I could hear Dennis from like 3 cornstalk rows away. I knew where he was almost at all times. Didn't have to see him. I knew whereabouts in the maze he was until he decided to quit and go back out the entrance.
I should have known better than to wear flip flops to that.
Yeah.
You need sneakers for that one.
Yeah. So I don't know. That was Woodsbury Farm. Yeah, Woodsbury Farm. It is really nice down there. The one thing I didn't get to do this year, I did want to go down to the Paquin Farm. Usually around Christmas time, they always have the hot chocolate and all the Christmas trees and the wreaths, and you get to see the cows coming and going. And people do cut your own Christmas tree down. It's really good down at Paquin Farm. That's right down by the Blue Hill Country Club.
I'm just happy that we haven't done an episode where you're in the hot tub.
No, I did that on someone else's show.
I figured it was coming.
I didn't. You know what? I didn't want to bring the laptop out there. When I did the hot tub, I was on my phone, and
the Muppet guy did a good job with your Muppet.
Yeah, yeah, he did.
True to form.
We have it. Yeah. A lot of the well, we didn't really have Allie on, but we had, in spirit, we had Colin and Allie a lot. And yeah. I don't know. It was I think we had a very good year.
I'm hoping for a better 2026.
Yep. And maybe there'll be a good surprise sometime. February is our 1 year, so we'll have to come up with something special for our 1 year. If we're still doing it in 4, 8 8 more shows. If we have 8 more shows in us, we're gonna have to do something special. I gotta renumber these again. I stopped numbering them again. I'll go back tomorrow and renumber the shows.
It sounds like we're definitely going to have 8 more shows based on how tomorrow night's going to go.
Yeah.
Coming right into election season.
It's 8:46. Do you want to do we dare give the link out for 15 minutes and wish some people a happy new year?
It's your show, John. I'm
Oh,
just along for the
I'm,
ride.
I'm deferring to you. What do you think?
I'm up for anything.
All right, hold on. Let's put this. Let's copy. We'll put it in the chat. If anyone wants to jump on, we'll give there you go. You want to come on and say Happy New Year? If we could 15 minutes. At 9 o'clock, we're done. So Gary, yeah,
And
you
it's
got the link now.
you don't have to just say Happy New Year. It can be question and answer time too.
Yeah, you want to come in? But it's right there. It's the I'll just keep putting it in for people because I know.
Is there a way to pin it to the top or?
No, I just keep putting it right there so that people can see it. It's
Make it nice and easy.
It's CP, StreamYard, CPEEHJM8MP. There you go. We'll just, I don't want to give out my phone number.
Why?
Everybody else already has it.
Chris has it.
They've been calling it all, well, now these are all people that are non-cronks that have been calling nonstop. Perkins signed 2 6-month contracts. The first 6 months was to end in December while they did the search. The second 6-month contract starts after that was in case there was an issue finding the chief. There's your answer. So Perkins isn't gone right away.
No, and I again, I don't think he's just going to walk away with a right away. If they choose to go back and try to find other candidates, who knows? I mean, they may decide that these 2 candidates just aren't the right ones.
Right.
And I would assume you have to go kind of back to the drawing board and start over. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's a possibility.
Yeah. But we know he's here for 6 more months. Hey, Happy New Year, and thank you, member, for 3 months, Joanne. You have enjoyed the last 10 months. Well, so haven't we, for the most part, almost all of it.
We appreciate having you guys along for the ride too.
You don't have to come on. You can leave. You can just use it like it's a phone and just keep your icon up. But that's okay. That's fine. Like I said, we're down to 8:50, so 10 minutes.
Haven't seen H Rock Doctor around lately.
No. I did see that the Canton high school hockey coach won his 300th game. That's a big feat. That's
350th game.
Oh, is that what it was? 350.
Yeah, 350. That's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah.
I wonder how many wins Don Smith had.
I'd have to figure it out.
How many hockey games in a high school season?
12-5 is 17. 12-5 and we were 12-5 and 4, so 12-9. Yeah, 20 something every year. Give or take, then playoffs. Oh, jeez. Of course he does.
Send it
Yeah.
right to him.
Happy New
Here he
Year.
comes.
Oh my God. He's so high maintenance. Poppy. All right, hold on. Gotta go to his.
You think Whitey's trying to get
You
on
want
right
it-
now?
Yeah. He wants me to email it to him. And yours is just going off too, huh?
Yeah.
Of course. Because you didn't turn your volume off. At least I did.
Well, let me just get rid of Messenger for right now. That should do it.
Yeah, that was my first. That was my first coach. Is Joe Roach, Mr. Roach. Yeah, he was he. I liked him a lot. He was a great coach.
He wasn't head coach of the varsity team though.
Yeah, it was. He was the first. Oh, Jeff Williams. That'd be great if Jeff Williams would come and say "Merry Christmas" to us. The first year after Donnie Smith was Joe Roach.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're right. I forgot.
I actually got to play with.
He had
his son.
he had a pretty good. Canton's been pretty good for a long time, but you got to have good coaches to be good.
Of course, when I JV, I had Mr. Horak, and Ernie St. Jean. He was probably my favorite coach of.
Whitey's watching, just so you know.
Oh, hey, Whitey, send him the link.
Yeah.
Hello. Well,
He might be a little
minutes.
mad at me.
I'm gonna say goodbye right when Gary hooks in. So.
Whitey, we'll give Gary a few more minutes, and then we'll send you the link.
Did you star one up here? You starred this, didn't you? What was this? Boy, I'm glad all the complaining, holding signs for Trish and Sue, voting for change, and this is what you get back to square. Well, Dennis, we don't know yet. We don't know what the vote's going to be yet. Will it be a symbolic 2-2, 3-2, or will it be will it be right across the board to show solidarity and support for the new chief, or are they even going to have a new chief? So I don't know. It's going to be a big day tomorrow, and you'll know from the answers.
From the questions.
Well, the answers.
Well, yeah.
You'll know when these guys are answering these questions. You'll know what to expect.
They should give the public an opportunity to ask a question or two.
Yeah, they're not gonna.
Yeah, I know it's not gonna happen. There he is.
I don't think. Is he coming in? SK27. Hey, so SK27. I hope you had a nice Christmas. I asked him if he wanted to come on. He likes being behind the Muppets. Great guy.
He's doing good work. He's single-handedly making X fun again, or Twitter, however you want to refer to it.
Yeah. Gary was here. He was? Yeah, I know. He's frantically trying to set up his computer again. Michael McDonald. Isn't Michael McDonald the singer from the Doobie Brothers? Yeah. That's probably not who they're thinking of, right?
There's Michael McDonald, I believe, on the Canton PD.
Oh yeah, there's a Michael McDonald. Yeah. Graduated. He graduated with my nephew, Chris. Yeah. Yeah. So. All right, Gary. Well,
I sent it to Whitey. Let's see if he can figure it out.
We'll give them a couple. We'll give them a couple more minutes. Oh, look at that! Look at that! I was so quick. I was ready to go. I was so ready to go.
There he is. Hey, Gary.
Hi, guys.
Nice
Hey,
to see you,
Gary.
pal.
It was a weird day today because I was, getting ready to send out my, give out olive branch letters to everybody, and then, they came back to bite me in the ass. With this announcement. I'm sorry. I cannot believe with everything that this town has been through. 3,000 people voted for Trish. 3,000 people voted for Susan. 3,000 people said we want change. And they go and say, we're still in charge.
You mean we did nationwide search and we came up with somebody that was right here under our noses all along. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, but you know it's tough when 4 out of the 6 finalists drop out, and you've got 2. You know, and I'm
Oh,
sure.
really? Is
I'm
that so? Is that? Do you know that for a fact?
I cannot confirm or deny that I
Yeah.
know that.
Okay, no, that's fine.
And-
I didn't know that. So 4 out of the last 6, step just took their hat out of the ring.
Look, I'm gonna say this right up front. Okay, Charlie's a fine guy.
Yeah.
Fine guy, but you know it. We you know got to go with somebody outside of Canton. You know, got to set the bar a little bit higher, and go with somebody outside of Canton.
For the immediate position, absolutely. And that's not to say that he's not a good candidate down the road.
Yeah, make
That's
him
absolutely
deputy.
right.
Make him
But-
deputy chief.
Yeah, you know, he's I've always liked him, and I still like him.
Mhm.
Just not at the right timing to be the chief. That's all.
Yeah.
There's no ill will towards him. He's always been a really. I've always enjoyed his. You know, he used to work with Whitey at Rosario's, and he was just always a fun guy to
Yep.
be at Rosario's with, and
Yeah.
is you know, and I'm sure he's a good police officer.
Yeah. I mean,
a
I'll always be
lieutenant.
one. I'll always be one of the the 903. And you know, I mean, I was driven out of a gym by a Canton police officer that wasn't happy with me being there. I'll always be one of the 903. But you know what? I don't care.
You do it
I don't-
again, right?
I'd
Yeah,
do
you
it.
know,
I'd do it in a heartbeat. Again.
here's the thing. You did it because you thought there was going to be a real honest audit.
Oh, all
and
along,
then-
they've been pulling everybody by the short hairs all along. They let you think that that we're making change for you. Then they're pulling you by the short hairs, and then they grab your ass and laugh.
Well, it was okay. We lost the vote. Now what do we do? All right. Well, this is what we're going to do. We're gonna put these people into a committee. All right, and then these people are going to steer it to be as narrowly scoped as we can, and then we're going to have Helena holding the guy's hand at every second of the of the audit, and it comes back as an apologist. He's basically apologizing for everything.
Yeah.
You know?
I think in my opinion means nothing, but I think you're going to see another situation. If they don't pick a chief, you're going to see another situation like when Helena handed in her resignation. They arranged something to happen. So I think they're going to put their collective heads together and say, "Hey, look, we've got elections coming up, and maybe this isn't a good time to make a move like this."
Why, if Chris doesn't care, if Chris isn't running again, what's he care which way he votes?
It's not Chris I'm talking about, but
Yeah, and it's they from the get go they always said that it was going to be about Charlie said when they first started the process it was going to take probably roughly 6 months.
And it was going to be transparent.
So if we go through this again, we're probably looking at another 4 or 5 months anyways. I mean, they've gone through it once. They could probably do it a little faster, but the election's in April.
Okay, so if it was transparent, will they give us the statistics? Will they tell us this is how many applied, this is how many backed out, this is how many? You don't have to tell us the names. Will they be giving us the statistics?
I'd like to be hopeful, but you don't know what they're going to do. You don't know what they're going to do. I'm not going to badmouth anybody on the select board right now. I'm not going to badmouth anybody that goes to that room tomorrow night. I just hope they do the right thing, and the right thing is to listen to the will of the people. And I definitely know 2 people who are going to vote in favor of not having the Canton candidate as a police chief.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
You
And
don't know.
Again, under that scenario, Gary,
It's tie.
What if it's possible, based on a 2-2, that would bring Chris into the fold to make the final decision?
I don't know that we've gotten a positive yes on that yet, by the way.
I don't either. And it's something that I believe John looked into, and it's a possibility.
It's a possibility that they could try to use the
Doesn't mean
rule
it
of
has to
necessity.
happen. Yeah.
Right.
That's where I think that the put their heads together situation would come into play. I think they're smart. I think they're smarter than that. I think that they would say, look, we're going to continue the search a little bit longer. We're going to make things go a little bit longer, and and come up with another candidate or 2 or 3.
It just surprises me that with allegedly 2 votes that wouldn't be in favor of the candidate that's already on the force. Well, how did he get that far into the process, anyways?
I tried to put that in the chat. I really think that they had 6 candidates, and they said, he'll never get that far.
Yeah, but remember, they weren't doing this. They hired a company to do this.
Yeah, but
So that means the company thought he was worthy.
Well, you don't. I mean, the
Hired a
company was
firm.
probably. I don't know how the company worked, but I would assume they're there more to facilitate the process than to make the decision. No,
yeah,
I don't know.
get candidates, not tell them who they should hire.
So who's in charge of moving 12 to 6 to 4 to 2?
I would
Was
assume
it the company, or
I
was
would
it the
assume that the select board
or was it Charlie, or was it a committee?
and Charlie would have a. I'm sure Charlie was part of that process. Absolutely.
Wasn't it a? Didn't they make some sort of little committee of themselves or something?
And the other
I've asked that question a couple of times today.
were there any non-elected officials that besides Charlie that were part of the process, like a random Canton citizen?
Hopefully not Bob McCarthy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But I got a little bit too angry today for my liking. You know what I mean? It's just if I'm mad, I can imagine how Peter feels. I can imagine how Dennis feels. I can imagine how all the boots on the ground feel. This is, they got to be listening. They got to know.
Yeah, they're listening.
And hi, if you are listening, by the way. I'm not saying, I'm not saying anything bad about anybody. I'm having a discussion with 2, friends online.
Yeah.
And
Wear your seatbelt.
my opinion means nothing.
And it's not too late for the citizens of Canton to reach out to their select board members. I'm sure there's going to be those people in Canton who oppose the 903 that are going to be reaching out to select board members. So I highly encourage those who supported the 903 to reach out as well.
Mac Dickles says
The select board. I'm sorry, but the select board is not going to make decisions based on social media or the Canton Chronicle YouTube page or any of that. They will, listen to the community.
Eric, right here, if and I'm trying to trust our chat people. The third step was an evaluation by other Mass police chiefs. So once again, other Mass police chiefs think that Charlie Ray, in his 25 years of service, is worthy of being a chief. But once again, we're talking about Canton and all the stuff that's gone down.
Well, something, tomorrow, JR's been very good about, every time he has a reason for voting, he always gives you an in-depth understanding about how he came to his vote. I would assume that, he would, before they get into the interview process, he may explain to us what the process was to get down to these 2 candidates so that we have a better understanding on, how we got from A to Z.
You want me to tell you how?
I'd rather hear it from JR, but I'm more than willing.
No, so it was Charlie and so the way I see it, it was Charlie and his assistant, right? And then the hired firm, and then there was a third stage evaluation. If I remember correctly, there was a third stage evaluation by like former current police chiefs in Massachusetts. I think that's how I remember it being. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I
It's-
just read that from the bottom of the screen.
It
You mean-
sounds like hilarious.
You know, when it comes down to it, can you blame four of the candidates for backing out? Maybe something better came along.
I was
Maybe something less greasy came along.
informed one of them was a colonel of another state police department.
I don't
Or
know. Will we
former-
know? Will we find out? They're listening. They're here. Hi, guys, girls. Nice
and,
to see you.
and Bob Brown, I'm by no means naive. I'm just trying to let people know that they really should reach out to the select board. Whether the select board really wants to listen to you or not, have your say. Speak up. Now's the time. Now's the time.
I will
Yep.
say the one quick interaction I had with Perkins, and I mean, because Patty Sherrill still falls under Perkins. My last FOIA request was returned in 2 days. Not the wait to the 11th day at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and sent to me that from before. This was sent immediately. So there are some things changing.
Yeah, no. I mean, look, we know what the votes were for the last two select board candidate, winners, and we know what the people of the town were saying. And the next one, if we got a third, a third woman candidate on there, I think you'll see some great changes in Canton.
Yeah.
And I can, I love Julie. I love Julie, but gosh, get two good candidates on there. All right, I'll say it, our side.
I man or woman, as long as they have integrity, do the right thing, do what's best for Canton. That's all that matters.
How about this? They saw what happened when they gave Helena her 1-year extension. It was a shit show. It was. They knew they deep down they knew that they shouldn't have done it, but they did it out of loyalty, not out of what was best for the town.
Yeah.
That's what that was. It was.
Yeah.
That was, once again, like I said, Canton is the most people that grew up in Canton in the 60s, 70s, and 80s are some of the most loyal people you'll ever meet. You need anything, they will do it. They can be mad at you. They could hate you. They're still going to do it, right? Because they're loyal, right? Well, we saw what that was. That was a loyal 1 year, just because yeah, loyalty, right? You've been,
It was
there's
loyalty.
longevity,
In the same respect,
longevity.
JR, when he again voted to give her that year, he did explain, and if I remember correctly, he explained that that we hadn't gotten all, basically the first trial hadn't gone on, and we hadn't seen everything, and he to me it sounded like he wanted to hear it all before he made a decision on a 3-year contract or a contract bigger than the 1 year.
Yeah. I can't help but think that this is a possible scenario as to why, the Canton, police officer that wants to be chief now is doing it. Go out in a higher pay scale. I mean, I can't.
Of course, but I mean, but why would anyone want to be? So, I guess you could say the majority of the players over the last few years involved are all gone. There's one, and he's gonna be gone. It's just, he's as good as gone. Uh, and but after that, there's
I
really
got
not
it.
gonna be much. Yeah, there's not gonna be much left. So you're starting with a fresh group of young guys and women. Um, you're gonna hire a whole bunch of other officers. You've only got maybe 2 or 3, Lank's still there, Teddy Lehand's still there. Sarah is still there.
Yeah, but
Albert's still there, and Galanis is
Betty
still there. I
Sherrill.
mean, those. Well, yeah, but I'm telling you, she go anytime she wants now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
looking at people that think that they still got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more years.
I want them to do the right thing. I want them to do the right thing, and I really think after what happened with the, Helena situation, I think that they're going to do the right thing. They're going to have that discussion, and they're going to go there. I really think so. The select board elections are coming up in April. And if it goes the other way, there go your chances of being reelected.
Oh, absolutely. This is basically your whole campaign it comes down to one vote.
well, let's preface that with we're only really talking about JR there. Even if Chris
We don't
runs,
think-
I mean,
we
what are
don't
the
think-
odds there?
Right.
And I don't think he's going to run again. I mean,
It's good for my business that he runs again.
Yeah.
You
bring out your elephant suit again.
Man, no, we'll have to bring out some other stuff. I'll have to come up with some. If he's not running. If he is, I'll
How
come
about a
up with.
blow up? How about one of those blow up Muppets that you can wear?
Oh, I know, huh?
We got to get one of those
No,
made.
I-
I bet you could have those made.
That giant gorilla with the arms.
If this is the last show of the year, you couldn't get Boozy or Brandy on.
Hadn't talked to either one.
It's kind of
Randy,
a last minute.
People are stuck with me.
it wasn't a planned.
Whitey's trying to come on.
It wasn't a planned. Wasn't a planned show. I was gonna hey, yeah, girls' night off. There you go, Brandy. Brandy knows. I really was gonna take the time off. I was gonna take the time off and start fresh in January, but news kind of happens, and Eric is like, "Hey, the meeting's tomorrow night, and what do you think?" I'm like,
It took me half a day to get him to even consider it.
yeah, and so I finally said, "Fine, I'll do it. I'll put it up." And then I'm like, "Well, what time?" And he's like, 7:30, and I'm like, "Geez, that's a half hour later than normal." It's cutting into my bedtime.
I was glad to make it tonight. I'm usually in book club,
Yeah.
during the show, and I have to
Yeah.
watch it on replay.
Yeah, and here it is already 9:14. See, I mean, 2 hours again. The 2 hours just goes. It flies all the time on us.
Well,
Yeah, so it wasn't a planned show, and if I was going to do an end of the year show, and we had talked about this a number of weeks ago, but obviously a lot of stuff happened. I hurt I was injured for a month, and Mullins is injured still. I didn't. I was supposed to go through all the shows and find all the bloopers and find all the funny things and make a end of the year show and do a countdown of some sort or whatever. But it didn't happen. Life happens. So yeah.
Do a New Year's Eve show.
No, I have plans for New Year's Eve.
Oh.
Okay.
What are you doing, John?
I have plans, and we'll leave it at that. All right.
Oh boy!
Well, listen,
Mullins
guys,
and I have plans, and
All right, at least you
I
go
don't
unsupervised.
yeah. Well,
I'm going to go
We'll
on
be-
record and just say
we'll be
that
supervising. How's that? So
I'm going to go on record and and just say that I love this town, always have, always will. And some of the things that I've had to to rally for weren't popular with some people. And I hope that 2026 will will be an olive branch for everybody. There's some people that I had to make decisions about that were very hard, and I hope people understand that. Maybe you can. Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. The problem is it has a little battery pack, and all you're going to hear is the fan the whole time. So,
Yeah. Well, happy New Year, guys.
Gary, I do want to say I am proud that you came out of your shell and stayed out of your shell. That you felt strongly enough for some things, and they were important. They really are. These things are important. It's way bigger than Karen Reed. She was the biggest story. John O'Keefe, Karen Reed, Alberts, McCabe's, you name it. Everybody involved in that whole case, right? It was the biggest thing in our lifetime since 9/11, OJ, you name it. It's one of those big. It's one of those big things that that people will talk about forever.
The exit out the front door of the police station was all you need to know. The mass exit out of the that tells you how bad it was, and that how many people wanted to move on in their life and go do something else.
Yeah, you had others not just retire, you had others go to other towns.
Yeah.
Do you think it's having an effect on filling those positions now, or do you think that it's going to take the new chief, a full-time chief, to come in and then hire their own people? It doesn't seem like people are beating down the bush to join the Canton PD right now.
Yeah, it's a good chance for somebody to come in and get a job. And help bring this town back. Help bring this town back. I'll just leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I to say what's right and what's wrong? All I know is I stood up for what I believed in, and I was, I took a lot of crap for it. And
Gary, here's a quick little analogy. A lot of us drank underage at some point, but you weren't so proud of it, or your parents weren't so proud of it, that they dug in and actually helped you or basically stood up for you nonstop, and then allowed it to happen over and over and over again, in which something happened every time. It wasn't like in the olden days where the cops just chased you from the woods and you ran home. This is bar fights. This is, you name it. It's people that shouldn't be where they should be, and then the parents digging in and getting mad for you pointing it out. That's not what we were about. I think people lost their ways, and their sandbox was left to themselves for so long that they didn't like sharing it with other people.
You're absolutely right.
And there was too many businesses looked the other way. There was too many businesses, and I'll say it, whether it's the Legion, whether it's CF McCarthy's, whether it's the Hillside, whether it's Waterfall, whether it was Golden China, whether you name the place, you can name every one of them. And I'm not saying it was last year or the year before. You can name every one of them, and they look the other way. Sometimes you have to say, listen, no, you can't be here.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Rules are rules. Look what happened at the store today. Somebody changed their wager last night and went till 1:15, and they said, nope, sorry, rules are rules.
Oh, what happened?
At Cassie's Corner.
Yeah.
They have a little thing where you predict what the final score is going to be. Is that correct, Gary?
Yes.
And it's a you don't pay. I don't think you pay to get into it. It's just you go in, and if you want to give your prediction, they write it down, and whoever wins, they give a prize to.
Mhm.
And somebody put their guess in or their prediction in 15 minutes after the game started. The Pats were up 7-0 by then, but they predicted, from what I understand, the score exactly right.
Yeah.
And they, but then Cassie's Corner put on Facebook that they wanted to get the opinion of, whether they should pay that person out with whatever they were giving them or not. And I think the consensus in the comments was that rules are rules. And, you if you can't make the deadline, you're out.
Okay.
Yeah.
We saw that with the bunny. Okay. There were rules. And what was taught to these kids was if enough people put together the right amount of money to pay back the guy who was friends with Chris, came right from Chris's mouth to Oz at the library. He was friends with the homeowner. If the right amount of people paid him back, he wasn't pressing charges, right? Once you don't press charges, everything that these kids did all went away and you taught them nothing. That's the problem, right? You look at these college athletes these days, they do something stupid, they lose 2 games, they lose, they get suspended, you even on the Pats, there's look at Barmore. He's been sat a couple of times this year, right? He still gets to play, but at least the coach is telling him, hey, you can't be doing this. Nobody's doing that in Canton.
Yeah.
And that's why
Well-
that's why you get bunny soccer. So
Yeah. I'm proud of my kids, and I think
And
we did
you're-
okay.
you're a grandpa now.
Yeah, Papa.
Papa. You're a papa.
Yeah.
Richie, you'll catch up eventually sometime tonight, but we're saying hi to the Duck King. He texted me he's behind. So he's making comments on something that was a while ago. Well, yeah, so I guess thank you to all the people that have been in our chat, that have supported us throughout the year, that are members. We'll have to do something else special. I'll figure that out. And that hopefully you guys continue to support us and have a great and safe new year.
And to our friend Whitey,
Yeah.
we started this show off to say we were going to end it with Whitey, and he's having technical difficulties. I've sent him the link a couple of times. He's not gonna be happy that I'm mentioning it, but we'll get you next
sorry,
year,
Whitey.
Whitey. We'll get you next year.
Whitey,
Whitey,
it took me a half hour to get on. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And then Bama Girl see, everyone's coming in late. There you go. I mean, I'm ready for bed and they're all just coming in. So, but all right. Well, thank you guys. Happy New Year, Gary.
Happy New Year.
Eric.
Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for
um,
everything, Krunks.
Happy New Year to Mullins, to Boozy, to Brandy, and to A. Atkins. Happy birthday to all of you guys. Happy birthday. Happy New Year. Happy birthday. Oh, where that came from. Happy New Year to all you guys. All right. Bye, guys.